Hello everyone, Crazy Days Infinite here, and today, to honour my late grandfather, I'm going to be making a video on his favourite Thomas character, Ferdinand the Logging Loco. For those of you not in the know, Ferdinand is one of the 3 logging locos introduced in Misty Island Rescue. He is based on the Climax Class C logging locomotive, except modified to run on Sodor rails. Ferdinand, much like his colleagues, Bash and Dash, run on oil and wood as their primary fuel source. Ferdinand is also a slower and quieter engine, usually only saying,
"That's right,"
or chiming in when a sequence calls for it, but does occasionally speak full sentences, usually when he is the lead or a major character in the episode. Ferdinand's whistle is pulled directly from a locomotive called the Rainbow Sun, the difference being his whistle is 2 pitches lower. Additionally, Ferdinand's whistle has been reused on a random background character from Blubber and on Lorenzo the Lost Engine, although Lorenzo's whistle is 2 pitches lower. Ferdinand has appeared in the toy lines Wooden Railway, Take and Play, Adventures, Trackmaster, Capsule Playrail, Capsule Collection, Boss, Collectible Railway, Minis, and Thomas Wood. Ferdinand has also appeared in the Minis sub-ranges, Classic Minis, DC Super Friends Minis as Martin Manhunter and Mr. Freeze, Cowboy Minis, and Sweets Minis. Ferdinand is the only of the logging locos to appear in the ARC Productions era, making a cameo appearance in the episode Signals Crossed, and appearing in several shots of the Fat Controller's office as a portrait, weirdly with his face cut out. And now, to finish off this video, I shall rank Ferdinand's relevant appearances. In other words, episodes where he appears more than once or is a main character. Starting with the infamous Misty Island Rescue. Misty Island is a very bad movie, and Ferdinand barely does anything. The main problem with Misty Island Rescue is how nothing any of the characters do makes sense. I won't be delving too deep into these episodes, so Misty Island gets an F+. Next up is Jumping Joby Wood, which is also pretty egregious. The mayor wants to use Joby Wood to build a new summer house, so Thomas and Edward go to Misty Island to fetch it. Except, things go wrong, and Thomas is blamed for them, even though it's not his fault. When crossing the Shake Shake Bridge, Edward's fight, flight, or freeze response activates, and he freezes on the bridge, prompting the logging locos to show up. Thomas tells the logging locos that he doesn't need their help, so they leave. Then he goes over to Old Wheezy, which, in typical Old Wheezy fashion, picks up logs and swings them at a tree, and they end up hitting Edward directly in the boiler. The logging locos show up again, only for Thomas to tell them again that he doesn't need their help, so they leave. Again. Thomas puffs up to Hee-Haw, who is spluttering smoke before he even gets there. When the smoke clears, it reveals the Fat Controller and James standing right there. The Fat Controller then scolds Thomas for the fact that Edward is swinging on the Shake Shake Bridge, the fact that logs are flying everywhere, and the fact that
my shiny red coat is ruined.
In my personal opinion, this is worse than Misty Island Rescue, and I have ranked it F-. Next is Merry Misty Island, where the logging locos attempt to host a Christmas party without knowing how to. I personally like this episode. I don't have much more to say on it, other than B+. Next is Gordon and Ferdinand, an episode where Gordon and Ferdinand share a special where they have to take the Lion of Sodor to the Duke and Duchess of Boxford. Why Gordon is the character being paired up with Ferdinand, I have no idea. Again, I don't have much more to say on this episode, other than A-. Next is Let It Snow, which is a mid-episode. Again, I don't have much to say on this. Thomas and Gordon go to Misty Island. Thomas does the Misty Island snow song by puffing around, and then he just gives up, and then when he's really useful, it starts snowing, and so he does it again, but with Gordon, and then it snows again, and that's it. That's all that happens. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's just a C. And finally, Old Wheezy Wobbles. It's a decent episode. It's nothing special. Thomas realizes that Den and Dart need to work together because they get insecure without each other. The series 19 episode Den and Dart did this a lot better, but this is still a decent attempt. C+. And that was all of Ferdinand's relevant appearances. Yes, he appears in other episodes, but he only appears for like one scene alongside the other two, alongside Bash and Dash. That'll do it for this video. I don't feel like plugging any of my stuff because this video is supposed to be a memorial. I get out of my video.